What's up, YouTube? This is my first attempt at a how-to video. I'm gonna show you how to break a basic 4-stroke motor all the way down to the crank and replace pretty much everything in it other than the transmission bearings. His problem was his kicker got stuck down. So I gotta go into it, see what's going on. We're definitely going to replace the piston and rings in this thing, and probably the crank. Going to check out the cam and all that. I won't get into the details and the boring part of measuring everything that you can find in your service manual for the Pacific bike. But this is a 04, no, I'm sorry, a 05 CRF 250, and that's a Honda. We're going to be breaking it down, and I'll show you the ins and outs on some of the stuff. It's going to be edited down, and it's probably going to be multiple part, since YouTube only let me upload 15 minutes at a time. But we won't be having 15-minute segments. But hope you enjoy, and leave comments and feedback. First off, what I like to do is get the cords out of the way. I like to get the shifter off, get this cover off right here, and get your Kickstarter off. After that, I like to take off the valve cover just to see what's going on, get a good look at everything, and I'm gonna do that now and come back with everything off. Okay, what I didn't show was that I had to take this dipstick out just so I can get to this bolt right here. And on this bike, you want to pay attention of where your bolts go. See, that's a short one at the bottom, and that's a long one at the top. That's where your oil filter is hiding, right behind there. Okay, you don't really have to take the short one out in case you just want to keep track of where your bolts go, but you do have to take the long one out. You really need to take this one out, otherwise you won't be able to get the case off. So I wanted to draw that to people's attention. So I'm going to take this case off, and we're going to see what it looks like up under here. So with all the bolts out, as you can see, all bolts are not created equal. Okay, I took them out in the pattern, so I'll know how they go. These two right here, these two longer ones, go right here. The rest of them are the same size, and they pretty much go where they go, except for this one, this long one for the oil filter cover. Got all of them out. Used a little persuasion with the mallet, and pops right on off. Don't worry about the gasket, because the gaskets will be getting changed out. As you can see, you got a lot of shavings in there, which is telling me crank bearings are through. A lot of them. A lot of shavings. But we'll get to that further on down the line. Now, what I like to do in this situation to get this nut off right here, which is a 17, basic impact gun. If you don't have, I mean, you would get the right holder to hold this down, but if you got an impact gun, common sense is put it on there, zip it off, then boom, you don't have to worry about nothing. Putting it on, another story. I would use the impact just to get it on, and then I would use the right holder to go ahead and zip it. But to get it off, boom, just take it right on off. So that's what I'm about to do now. Can't hold the camera and do it at the same time, so come back in a minute. And just like that, it's off. Wasn't on too tight. Zip right off, no problem. Now some people be wondering, how the hell do you get this off right here? Well, some people, if you look on YouTube, will say, oh, you can just take a hammer and hit this right here and get it off. Don't do it. Don't try it, because you'll just destroy everything. I mean, I don't care how good you are, you will destroy some shit. So get the right tool. It's just a puller. Go on eBay, you can get pullers, the right one that you need, for anywhere from $20 to $30. A good quality puller that's going to last you job after job after job is going to run, anywhere between 60 to a couple $100. But they're worth it, especially if you're doing this all the time. If you're doing it to your own machine, just get the right puller for you. No, they're inexpensive. When you sell a bike, you can sell the puller or keep the puller to do future jobs on other people's bikes or whatever. But get the right thing. It's a left-handed thread. You basically just thread it on until it stops. Get the right wrenches and wrench down on this nut right here, well, this bolt right here, which is just gonna pull it off and pop it right off so easy, and that'll save you a lot of headache in the long run. So I'm gonna go ahead and thread it on while I got the camera. I'm sorry, it was a right hand thread. Sorry about that. Most of my left hand. First time using this one. Yeah, just want to get it all the way in till it backs out and run this in until it stops. And I'm gonna just put the camera down and go ahead and do it. I'll come back and it'll be off. And there you have it, with almost no effort at all. I just held this with a crescent wrench right there. I used that size bolt was a 24. Use that on this breaker bar with absolutely no effort. Just crank it down about a half a turn and it slid right off. No problem. Alright, that'll save you a ton of work in the long run and will save everything else, because I done seen people actually hit this, damage everything and be chasing their tail, wondering why the bike won't start after they done put all the time and money back into it trying to put it back together. And it'll be because they damaged this by hitting it on the outside or something like that, or damaged the middle. Some people say it doesn't damage it, but believe me, if you hit this the right way, it'll just tear everything up. You won't be getting any spark. But yeah, lesson learned. Get the right tools, do it the right way. Alright, moving on to the valve cover. Couldn't do it with two hands. I had to loosen them up. But as you can see, it's just two number 10s millimeters that hold this cover on. You basically just unscrew them out. So I put some type of glue on there, but yeah, it comes off. And if you notice from the other video, I like putting the bolts back in their place, so I know where everything goes exactly. Right now, I'm just going to pull everything apart. We'll worry about timing when we get ready to put the engine back together. But yeah, before you even think about taking this loose, you want to make sure you take the cam chain tensioner out. Alright, that way you'll loosen everything up, get everything out of there, and you'll be fine. Like right now, it's locked up. It'll spin a little bit, but that's it. When it's like that, you can pretty much just relieve the tension and take everything off. See, I got some more copper shavings all up inside the cam. It seems to me that was a thrust washer or something, some kind of washer inside the crank. That's what only copper is on one of these engines, but we'll soon find out.